When we spoke about persistent volumes and plugins, in here I've mentioned that they have the local storage devices mounted on nodes. So let's take this and basically learn about persistent volume claims and persistent volumes and how everything works. So here we're doing this because we're not running Kubernetes yet on, for example, GCP, Azure, or AWS. So we're going to use the local one. So in here, what I want you to do is let's go to our terminal, and in here, let's SSH into Minikube, or Minikube SSH, my bad. So Minikube SSH, there we go. And now I'm going to say sudo and then make dir and under mnt for mount and then data. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to say sudo and then sh-c, and in here we're going to run this command. So echo, and then within single quotes, I'm going to say hello, and then PV for persistent volumes, and PVC for persistent volume claim. So persistent volume and then claim, and then say Kubernetes is awesome, just like that. And then I'm going to basically forward that to /mnt for mount, basically this directory right here, and then data. And you can grab this command from the description of this video, index.html. Enter. And now if I basically Control L and then cat and then /mnt /data, and then inside we have index.html, and you can see that we have hello, PV and PVC. Kubernetes is awesome. Now what I'm going to do is do the same for the other node, because we're going to have one pod and the pod can land in either node. So let's just take this command in here, Command C, and then this command as well, Command C there. Now press Control D to exit. So exit, and then SSH-m or n for node, and then Minikube dash and then M02. There we go. I'm inside. Paste this command and then paste the other one just like this. So sudo sh-c. There we go. And then if I cat and then in here /mnt for mount and data, and inside we have index.html, and there we go. So now both nodes have this data in here, right? Now let's switch to VS Code, and in here we're going to create the persistent volume. So let's create a new file, and here I'm going to say pv /pvc dot and then YAML. There we go. Now type persistent, and you can see that we have volume as well as the claim. So let's just have the volume, and in here we're going to name this as, just leave it as my PV, and then for the storage in here, so storage, I'm going to pass so a string in here. I'm going to say 100 and then MI for megabytes. So basically I don't want something big, I just want something really small. And here let's change this to manual, and for the mount options we don't need anything, as well as NFS we don't need anything. So there. Now what we need to do is here I'm going to say host path, and then the host path will be here /mnt and then data. So now let's create the persistent volume and then claim. So here I'm going to say persistent and then control space there, and then we want the claim, and have a look. So metadata, I'm just gonna leave it my PVC, and then requests, we're going to request basically the exact same thing that we have in here. So 100 megabytes. There we go. And then the volume mode is file system. So this is by default. Read write once. And the storage class. So we have to specify the storage class in here. So storage class, and we said that it was manual. There we go. So if you're running within AWS or Azure, then this has to be different, and I'll leave a link where you can learn more about storage classes. And now let's have a deployment. So here, 3 dashes, and call deployment, enter, and you can grab all of this from the description of this video. So this deployment in here, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to name it as PV dash PVC, just like that. For the image, we're going to use Nginx, so NGINX, just like that. And I always misspelled Nginx for some reason. Then the resources limit, leave it as is, the port 80. Now we basically have to use the volume. So we have the persistent volume, we have the claim. Now we need to tell that this pod can use this claim right here. So the way to do it is as follows. So let's just define the volumes in here. So volumes, and then the name, let's just say data. And then here, so if I basically indent this and then press Control space, have a look, we still have this list, and you've learned about all of this before. But if I scroll down, you should see that we have, so in here, persistent volume claim. So this is cool. And now we have to pass the claim name. So the claim name is, so in here, my PVC. So copy that and then paste it here. And there we go. Now we have the volume. Now we have to mount inside of our container. So here, just after image, I'm going to say volume mounts. And then the path will be, so this is Nginx specific. So here / and then user, just like that. And then share / Nginx, and then / HTML. And then the name in here, so the name will be data. So this name right here is this one. And basically we are mounting the folder that we've just created in those 2 nodes under this path inside of the container. Now let me save this, and there you go. Next, let's go ahead and test all of this. And by the way, if you want to basically just copy and paste this and apply yourself and see it working, you can just do it. So I'm going to leave this under the description of this video. Catch me on the next one.